Welcome to the bold analysis. I want to first start asking you that kindly subscribe to our channel, click the notification bell, and also like our videos. Through that, you help us to promote this channel to the next level. Is Jeremiah Kioni the most sought out politician now in Mount Kenya? I want us to look at the long shot, or rather what is being set by the Rigathi to trap in Jeremiah Kioni. The Jubilee Secretary General has been vocal, and the only Mount Kenya leader who has been speaking and has been in the forefront as far as Azimio issues are concerned. He held a press briefing in Jaramogi Oginga Odinga Foundation and is the person that started over the discussion about the whistleblower report after the tweet from Robert Alai, and then he was then out speaking about that whistleblower report. And Jeremiah Kioni is the only leader from Mount Kenya that technically, and I think because of course he's not elected, but the secretary is the secretary general of the party, technically is the one person that has remained with that party. I was asking whether he was in consultation with Uhuru Kenyatta over these latest engagements, because that's what Kenyans were asking. Initially in Azimio, we will see Opiyo Wandayi coming over to speak about this and that. But from nowhere, I think Kioni is becoming strategic and is emerging as more popular voice as far as Mount Kenya politics is concerned. Today, Rigathi, and if you see the photos on your screen, Rigathi met with Jubilee leaders from Mount Kenya. Jubilee elected leaders. And that was Eala MP, Kanini Kega, Sabina Chege, Amos Wago from Starehe. There was also my member of parliament from Embakasi West. What is the name? I've forgotten the name. I will pick up the name somewhere. I will tell you. And that meeting was politically communicating something. There are some two leaders that were not there. These were leaders that were not elected, but they were vocal in Jubilee. One of them is Jeremiah Kioni. The other one is Ngunjiri Wambugu, the former Nyeri Town member of parliament, who has also been so vocal as far as Jubilee is concerned. Gachagua is trying to shell out a shadow around Uhuru Kenyatta, and because Uhuru Kenyatta is out of the picture, Jeremiah Kioni. And there is a voice that Jeremiah Kioni represents, and he has maintained that line, saying that Raila's votes in Mount Kenya were stolen. He has maintained that. That's what he's saying. In how he is analyzing that whistleblower report, he's actually holding the ground that Raila's votes were stolen in Mount Kenya. That message is what is worrying Deputy President William Ruto. It is worrying Deputy President William Ruto because it's creating illegitimacy that Rigathi has been bragging about. It's poking holes on the legitimacy of their ticket of their win that Rigathi has been talking about. But far from it, when that narrative comes up, it consolidates Raila's votes in the mountain. Simply telling the 1 million people that voted for Raila Odinga that stay with Raila, we are still on course, the vote was stolen. And that is the voice And that is the narrative that sits pretty uncomfortable with Rigathi Gachagua. Could be at the center of that meeting. He met with Jubilee leaders, but I think he's trying to craft ways of telling them how they can cross over and join UDA or join him, but did not meet the leadership of the party. I don't know how to look if Sabina Chege was to jump from Jubilee Party and then cross over and go the other side. Of course, no one will go after her, but it don't look good even for her. And there seems to be people that are being put under pressure. I was speaking to some journalists who covered a bit of this. They had gotten brief that they were going to meet. So when they went there, arrived one after the other, and when they came out, they declined interviews. Neither of those leaders accepted to be asked questions. And not that they were so happy or they are agile as would be expected. They declined interviews. And of course, one of the questions would be what was at the center of that discussion. Jeremiah Kioni is leading Raila's rigging story. And that is a threat because it galvanizes Raila's votes in Mount Kenya. That's what Rigathi doesn't want. And that is why Sabina Chege would actually be instructed to isolate Sabina Chege and the team to isolate Jeremiah Kioni, so that they portray Jeremiah Kioni as a man who is on his own mission, that he does not cut the Mount Kenya image. One thing is there is, I think, as much as Martha Karua was the deputy president, but of late Jeremiah Kioni is talking and is getting more airtime and is even more trending on the Azimio wing compared even now to Martha Karua. So when you plug in the voices of Sabina Chege, you plug in the Kanini Kega, you try to push Jeremiah Kioni as if he's not speaking as Gema. And that's one of the strategies. And that could be one of the objectives behind that meeting. Now, the other thing here is, I understand that Rigathi Gachagua, the DP, is planning for Ruto's homecoming. And in that Ruto's homecoming, it would be the moment of crossing where these leaders will officially join Ruto or rather join UDA. I understand that over there were even some other events that have been trying to drag them close to enough attendance, but has not been a bit successful. They have been a bit cagey, and some of these elected leaders were comfortable attending events in Mount Kenya, just Rigiji and like burials and specific events, but they have been trying to avoid presidential events. Yeah. So that is also a bit of what the deputy president might be looking at that homecoming. The tragedy of this country is, as people look into other things, then people are struggling for the homecoming. Now, let me tell you something. The coffee and the tea sector reforms that the deputy president is supposed to head is a headache. And it seems to be feeling the backlash. And he has done his own feasibility and realized that there seems to be simmering backlash from Uhuru's men. So we need you to know you need to pocket these Uhuru's men. It will be in the interest of that, so that when he runs rogue on this, he will get the backing of Uhuru men, because those who are in UDA by default will have to support whether they like it or not. But those who are not pro-UDA, including the Jubilee leaders, will fully want that backing, because Rigathi knows that however ruthless or however he would want to do it, he also runs the risk of facing a backlash from Uhuru's men. Because if himself has stated that, he's going after those people, because according to him, those people are the problem. Lastly, Rigathi is seeing Kioni as a threat because he doesn't want people to group around Kioni or around Jubilee Party. There is no sense of regrouping, because from what Raila team and Azimio team seems to be doing is they want to regroup and start something. and they will not want Mount Kenya to be part of that regrouping. So I look at this keenly on how it is. I don't know whether Sabina Chege will be making, save for Kanini Kega, whether Sabina Chege will be making a move to join UDA. If you ask me, that will be, of course, politics is local. She was a women rep in Muranga. She was supposed to go for Kigumo MP seat. Then she did not go for it. For women rep, she said she would not go again. Is it senator? You know, I think it's still early. And if I was to maybe advise, is still hold the horses first. It will be easy. It will be early to make political moves. Even if you want to move, I know it's normally comfortable, unaenda mapema, unajipanga mapema, but it's a bit early because you don't know the eventualities. If things happen, then the next day, the tide change, and you realize now the playing ground is neutral, I think it will be hurry for Sabina Chege to cross over. But again, politics is local. Let's see. You can also tell me why you think Ngujiro Mbugu, being, despite the fact that he was a very strong supporter of Rigathi, was out of the picture.